You know what your problem is. You have no game.
What you know about game? I got all the game.
Welcome to the Game Winning Sports Show. You're about to get the best game in sports from G-Dub by way of Austin, Texas, and Devin Gordon from Fort Defiance, Arizona. Don't bet against the game. Call in and join the show at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, check out all the game.
I love that intro.
Hey. Welcome to the show. This is the Game Winning Sports Talk. I got two of my favorite people on with me, Adam and Lou. How y'all doing?
How's it doing?
Doing good. Yeah.
That's good.
Sounds good, Lou.
Guys, this week it's been crazy. You know, the playoffs have been crazy. You know,
Yes.
we had some great games.
So all the games this weekend were pretty great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we're down to the final four now.
6 months ago.
We're down to the 49ers and the Eagles and the Bengals and the Chiefs. On the NFC side, I got the 49ers taking out the Eagles. That defense is just too good for the 49ers.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I got the Niners as well.
Yeah.
You know, Lou, our Cowboys, they tried, man. They tried their best to pull it out.
They did, but you know, I mean, there was
Didn't have anything left.
They needed a lot to win against the 49ers. Brock is just too good. And that defense, you know, is just you know, unstoppable. It made our offense look stagnant. So there was a lot going against, you know, the 49ers. So it didn't surprise me that we lost. It would have been great if they would have won, but chances were pretty slim.
I didn't think either team played a particularly great game.
But you know what's got me laughing right now is these 49er fans that come out saying, "Oh, we're gonna put up 40, 50 points against y'all." Can y'all explain what is 40, 50 points are at now?
They're just shooting their mouth off. I mean, they just say that for all talk.
No, I mean,
because I tell you what, our defense, the Cowboy defense, they put us in the spot to win the game.
absolutely. But I think that the counter argument is, well, we won, and we get to go. You know, we got Philly this week, so you know what? Maybe it wasn't 50, but we still, you know, and that's the nature of the thing is, you know, you're talking junk, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not putting nothing against the 49ers. They are a really good team. They're solid. No, but our defense tried everything they could to help us win.
You know, I think it was up until that about halfway through the fourth quarter. The Cowboys defense hung tough, but you know, it was just, you know, a war of attrition, and they just
go ahead, Adam.
They just didn't have anything left.
No, they didn't. And I kept on last week's show. I asked y'all, did Dallas use up everything they had against Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you said that.
They did.
You asked me that on our show, and I said I thought they didn't. But I mean, I really don't think they did. They didn't come out flat. They played an okay game. I don't think either team played particularly well.
No.
But they played good enough to win, and San Francisco was just that much better. And
the play that's got me scratching my head over, okay, is the very last play of the game.
Well, I mean, that whole series was poor.
Having Zeke lined up a center to hike the ball to Dak?
Like, the concept is that you instead of, you have all your linemen on the wing, right? So you got all the big guys out on the wing, and you get a mismatch. You get 2 big guys against 3 little guys. So you take away with 2 guys, you take away 3 tacklers, right? 3 or 4 tacklers, and you let your one of your quick guys get out into the open field. The problem is that Zeke got blown off. Zeke got absolutely run over, and Dak didn't have enough time to set his feet and find his target, and he just went to the first guy that wasn't going to get him killed.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, and it's one of those bad plays. I would rather see you line up in a traditional Hail Mary, throw it deep down the field and hopefully pick up a flag, or throw it underneath and maybe you can catch a guy and you can go you can get one of those freak plays where you catch a guy, you gotta go in this way upfield, you gotta come around behind it, and you can hit him with a lateral, and you can get you can get out in the open field and run with it instead of some 3 a.m, third pot of coffee nonsense.
Yeah,
exactly. That brings me up to something I'm going to play for y'all, and I want to get y'all's take on this.
Right? I mean, he basically said that. So that's twice.
Now this is Mr. Brett Scott talking about it says why Bart Scott thinks the Cowboys have to move on from Dak. Now I was listening to this before the show. This dude does not make no sense at all.
He's a clown. He's a clown.
But listen to this,
pretty much.
And I get y'all's take on this.
Parsons basically saying, I'm paraphrasing now, defense played well enough to win, right? I mean, he basically said that. So that's twice this week that he didn't take a shot at Dak Prescott. What do you think it all adds up to?
Listen, it's a reality. And I think they have to start thinking about what Dak's future is, and they have to go out and, I think, draft a young quarterback. Remember, the same way you got him is the same way you lose him. So Dak Prescott got his opportunity because he was able to step into a roster that was pretty good, and Tony Romo was on the end of his contract on a big deal. So what happened is he became cheap. And so he became the alternative so that they can stack the deck. We talk about it all the time. And I was the master. Every team I was on that had success stacked the deck, right? When you say, Bart, what do you mean stack the deck? When I have a cheap quarterback, that means every other position I can go out and I can fill it with great players that are already proven. Mm-hmm. When I came here, we had Alan Faneca, Damon Woody.
Okay, what do y'all think about what he just said about the Cowboys need to go out and draft a young quarterback?
They're right. They're right. I mean, Prescott has seen better days, and they have to do something about it because he is not the same quarterback he once was.
There isn't going to be a guy available that's worth the crap.
But then again, you have to look at it this way, Lou.
Yeah.
I could take Dak Prescott and put him behind the 49 offensive line, and he could tear a team apart.
He'll tear him up. Yes.
Dak is not the problem.
Who's better?
What is?
Yes, Dak is part of the problem.
But who's better?
But it's that offensive line is the biggest problem.
Okay.
But who's better than Dak? Who's better?
Right now?
Nobody. Right now.
Are we
what, coming out in the draft class or playing in NFL?
That's going to be available. Dak Prescott is one of those quarterbacks that's who's better. So if you'll indulge me 2 seconds, let me pull up the list. Because I made a note earlier. And so this is the aging out. These quarterbacks at this time have been aging out. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan. Current faces of the franchise: Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Jalen Hurts. This is the next group who's Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, and Geno Smith, Wilson, John Watson, Mac Jones, Ryan Tannehill, and Jimmy Garoppolo. Next one I have is the that I'm calling not the answer. David Mills, Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, Murray, Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota. The last group I have is too early to tell group. Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, Lance, and Rock. And who's going to be available? The Cowboys can draft. They're not drafting in the top 5, and you're not going to be able to trade up into the top 5. It's not going to be worth it long term to trade up into the top 5 to try and get a C.J. Stroud or a Young. I can't forget his first name. Or Will Levis, and if Stetson Bennett slips.
You mean C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud and
C.J. Stroud.
Did I say C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis? They're not going to be available. You don't have the capital, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense long term to mortgage the farm for a guy who is at best a project. When you already have a project quarterback in Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a who's better kind of guy. And then, if Stetson Bennett is available at 18, everybody's predicting him as a third rounder. Do you take a flyer on him in late or mid first round? And let's say you wait until the 4th or 5th round. Which quarterback outside of the rare Russell Wilson, Tom Brady types who are just freaks of nature, who's going to be available in the 3rd round that's going to be better than Dak?
The biggest problem with Dallas right now, and I've been saying this from the get-go, is Jerry Jones.
Well, Jerry Jones is his own worst enemy.
Exactly.
If it weren't for Jerry Jones wouldn't need enemies.
No. Jerry can't get out of his own way.
With friends like Jerry Jones doesn't need enemies.
And I was
he's losing.
That, McCarthy said that Jerry Jones told him, "You can coach here as long as you want, even as long as Tom Landry did."
I don't know if it's gonna last that long.
And I'm sitting there thinking, "My God, he's comparing him to Tom."
You better get that. You better get that in writing, bro, because that ain't gonna.
Nah.
No.
But I mean, I was a bit shocked to wake up on Tuesday morning and find Mike McCarthy in the unemployment line.
I was shocked too. I really was.
Yeah.
But
I guess Sean Payton's not available. Well, I mean that in all sincerity. I know it kind of sounds like a. It sounds like a.
For us Cowboy fans that have been stressing and worrying about Dan Quinn, this is coming from ESPN. Todd Archer, which is a staff writer.
Mm-hmm.
For the 2nd straight year, Dan Quinn has decided to pass up potential head coaching jobs to remain as the Dallas Cowboy defensive coordinator. Quinn interviewed with the Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals, and Indianapolis Colts in the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Quinn goes on to say, "I have unfinished business here in Dallas. My complete focus is helping this team by playing championship ball in 2023.
I agree. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
If I was a coordinator with NFL head coaching potential, I don't like any of these gigs. None of these gigs have any appeal to me.
Yeah.
But now we did lose our linebacker coach and What's the other coach we lost? I can't. Is that on tip? I hate this when it's on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
And you can't get it to come out.
Yeah.
A hint?
It drives bonkers. But then McCarthy goes on. Now McCarthy said that they're excited to have Dan Quinn back. Yeah, why not? Look what he did to that defense.
I mean, they shut San Fran down. They only 19 points.
No, and we all know that San Francisco is that type of team. They can go out and put up 40, 50 points a game if they wanted to.
Yeah, easy.
But look what the defense did to the Deebo Samuels.
Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey.
They shut him down.
Except for they just got there was just a little bit. San Francisco just kept coming a little bit more than they could withstand. I mean, I didn't think either offense played particularly well.
It was
both offenses.
I said it from the get-go of that game when I seen how well both defenses were playing. And I don't know if y'all seen that. I posted it in the chat group on that, but I said this is going to be a defensive game.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
You did.
Right until the end. San Francisco's offense found a couple of things that worked and was able to take advantage of some things. But all in all, there were let's see, how many teams make the playoffs now? 14. There were 18 teams that missed the playoffs entirely.
That's right.
And I know Cowboys fans are delusional.
Not me.
I'm not delusional. Well,
not the individual, just the collective.
Okay.
But and anything short of a Super Bowl is a failure. It's an utter disaster, and they need to fire everybody and gut the team and trade everything away and start all over every year.
That's the problem. Everybody thinks, well,
exactly.
If we don't make the Super Bowl, we're a failure. I don't think you can say that. If you finish 13-3, whatever, you're not a failure. Okay, you didn't make the Super Bowl, but so did not 28 other teams. So you can't really say you're a failure. Look.
Every year they're on 30.
Look, the Broncos were
32 teams. There's 32 teams playing for that Super Bowl spot every year.
Yeah.
And 30 teams don't make it.
Right. Look, the Broncos were a failure, okay? The Tampa Bay was a failure, even though they made the playoffs, but still. Okay, you were not a failure for not making. We had a great season, so think about that. Everybody thinks, oh well, we failed. We were 13-3, and we didn't make it. We didn't make the second round, past the second round of the playoffs. You didn't fail, okay? There have been plenty of teams that are below 500. That's a failure season.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think Minnesota has to feel like their season was a failure.
Well, that's wrong. That's the wrong way of thinking.
I told my wife this, and I told a lot of people this too. This team, the Cowboy team this year, I'm not mad at them because they got beat by the 49ers. I'm a little upset that we lost to the 49ers, but I'm not mad because we did better this year than we did last year in the playoffs.
Yes, we did.
I have a question.
And we didn't have Dwight Clark either. I mean, they didn't have Dwight Clark. Oh, boy.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Never.
What in the world possesses you to physically assault your television set over your team losing a game? How childish is that?
I've seen videos of that on Facebook, man.
The ridiculous sign of the week.
I don't understand.
It's funny. I have to laugh at it. It's just a football game.
I've lost championship games. I've had heartbreakers, and I've been blown out. And I have never once, in my life, ever felt the need to physically assault my television set like it insulted my mother.
Your mother?
We lost. We lost to the 49ers. But hey,
Yeah.
You don't see me getting mad,
Right.
pushing my TV and going out there and playing on the TV.
When did this become a European soccer riot? I mean, really, because you expect that from that part of the world. My T-balls, that's what my TV said. I'm gonna go beat up your mother. Oh no, oh boy, oh God.
I watched World Series. I've had my team swept out of the World Series.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find this video, and if I can, I'll post it. I'll post it in the group. There's this guy that gets so mad that the Cowboys lost. Okay, he goes in his bedroom, brings out his 9mm, shoots the TV.
You know, and I've been swept out of the World Series, and I've been crushed, a heartbreaking 2-1 loss in the Cup Finals. You know, I've been through every triumph and tragedy, ups and downs, wins and losses. You know, and in 30 years of being a sports fan, you know, maybe I go out there and I take a stick and hit a tree, and you know, maybe I go out and scream. You know, cuss up a storm. You know, you have fun 2-year-old tantrum. You know, go out, you know, hit the heavy bag. You know.
If you have a punch bag. If you have a punch bag.
But I have never, right? I have never, ever destroyed my television or any kind of any device, television or laptop or tablet or, you know, smoke signals. You know, I'm getting my updates on the game from smoke signals. I have not destroyed my fire over losing. You know, it's just a loss. There'll be games next year.
Yeah.
There are people that
people say I'm a poor sport. Come on.
You know, people have. It's just a game.
I may go kick the dog once in a while, but I don't think I would, you know, destroy my TV set or anything else, or go be with his family.
And I'm glad that Adam brought up delusional Cowboy fans. That brings me to something.
I'm not one of them.
That brings something up that I said on Kevin's show, and I'm going to say it right here. I told y'all, delusional Cowboy fans, that the Cowboys were not going to make the Super Bowl this year.
Yes.
I still like I still stand by my prediction. I stand by it. I know I was wrong, but I stand by it. I liked what the Cowboys were doing. I thought they had the best chance to run the table and win 4 games and win a Super Bowl. You know, a bounce here, a bounce there. You know, a yard here, a yard there. You know, a tackle in the first quarter that goes for 2 yards instead of 3 yards. You know, an 8-yard gain an 8-yard gain that they turn back into a 6-yard gain that forces a punt. You know, there's so many things little things that happen in any game, not just football, but any game. That end up over time accumulating into death by 1,000 cuts. And so, you know, I think that the Cowboys they'll be fine. They'll bounce back. They'll regroup and reset. And, you know, we'll get into free agency. We'll get into the draft. You know, and things will mellow out. And you know, we'll be able to inspect and analyze what went right, what went wrong, and we'll see who's available in free agency. We'll see.
I think the biggest problem with the Cowboys is the reason why they didn't win as many games as we expected them to was because of that offense. Yes. I think if they had a young offensive line that could have given Dak more time, I think we could have beat the 49ers. Honestly, I think we could have.
We had a chance.
Yeah, play calling has to be called in question too.
Exactly. You know, just like that dumb play where you gonna have Zeke lined up as a center. Kellen Moore, you get the Bonehead of the Week award for that one.
You do.
Well, the concept, I understand the concept of the play, right? You get a fast guy on the outside with some blocking out front, but to put Zeke in as a blocker instead of in as a receiver makes zero sense. I understand, you know, spreading the field, getting everybody wide, trying to create lanes so that you can have a fast guy who's got good vision, and is going to be able to exploit and use his speed. You get a couple of big guys out in front of him and let them set up some blocks for him, and he can use his vision and work in and out and find a guy to, and then get a pitchy woo woo going on. I get that. But why in the sweet Jesus did you not have a center out there to snap the ball? Because if I was the 49ers defensive coordinator, I'd have been salivating at that. I would have been like, blow him up, kill him, and then go take Dak too.
Speaking of players, guys, I don't know if y'all seen that post in the chat group about that 25-year-old former Lions.
Yeah.
Everyone here at Game Winning Sports Talk Show would like to send our thoughts and prayers out to his family. 25 is too young.
Way too young.
Really, way too young, but we do send our thoughts and prayers to his family.
If you're younger than me, you're way too young to be dying.
Exactly.
True. Okay, moving on.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go look at let's go track some of the coaches heading into the off season here. They saying that that Stephen A. Smith blessed the Giants for hiring Nathaniel Hackett. Luke,
what did they hire him to do?
Do you have any confirmation on that?
They are. It appears that they have signed that. Let me just look at the article here.
Depends on what they want him to do.
Yeah, well, they need somebody. So
as long as they didn't hire him to be clock management, he'd be all right.
They have hired him, and that may be what feeds the fire for a trade for Aaron Rodgers. So hey, who knows? Maybe we might get him after all. But I know you're thinking, nah, he's not going to the Packers or he'll just retire. But maybe this might persuade him to come this way, because we can use a veteran quarterback as well.
Okay. Now here's the head coaches that already been hired. Carolina Panthers has hired Frank Wright as their new head coach.
Yep.
Now here's the head coaching job openings.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
James Wallace in the house.
We have a call from area code 470. Can you state your name for the record, please?
It's Chris Wallow. Chris Wallace.
What's going on, Chris?
Hello.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir. What's going on with y'all?
Not much. Houston Texans. They have a coaching open because after one season they fired Lovie Smith after going 3-13-1.
Mm-hmm.
Poor man can't catch a break, can he?
Denver Broncos. They fired Nathaniel Hackett after he finished when he over a 4-1. I mean, a 4-11 record.
Yeah.
I guess Hackett couldn't hack it.
Should have fired him into the sun.
In fact, he couldn't even do it. In fact, he couldn't be button Hackett. Yeah.
Don't take him on a camping trip.
Still looking for the Colts are still looking for a coach. Now, here's what I can't understand. Okay, Frank Wright's record with the coach was 41, 35-1 over 5 seasons. How you going to fire a coach that has 41 wins over 5 years, over 5 seasons?
Averaging
Averaging
8 wins a season.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what was that? What was his actual record? 41 and what?
41, 35-1.
He 41, 35-1 over 5 seasons.
That's decent. That's decent. I don't think you should got fired.
Not good. It's an averaging 8 games. It's an average of 8 games a season. That's mediocre at best.
Well, there's no more mediocre in the NFL.
Now here's offensive coordinator jobs that are opening. Arizona Cardinals is looking for a offensive coordinator. Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
The Colts, Chargers, Rams, Buccaneers. They fired Brian Leftwich.
Yep.
Tennessee is looking for an OC. Washington Commanders. Scott Turner's no longer there.
Right.
Now here's the job.
Can I say something?
Now here's the jobs that have been filled.
Okay.
Can I say something?
What's up, Chris?
The Bucs are trying to get my offensive coordinator from the Dogs, Tom Monkey.
Is that right?
Oof.
Yep. He's trying. He coached in the Bucs 2017 and 18. Yeah, they're trying to.
Right.
Whatever they give, I believe Kirby will get it matched and he won't leave.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But
3 quarterbacks. He got 3 quarterbacks. He wants to mature, so
right.
I don't know. I'd see.
New England Patriots, they got their new OC, which is Bill O'Brien.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien's great, OC.
New York Jets. Nathaniel Hackett is the new OC.
Really?
Yeah. He's not a head coach. He's an OC.
Well, as long as he isn't in charge of clock management, that could be pretty good.
Defensive coordinator job openings. Now, with Chris being a Falcons fan.
We already got one. I can't remember his name's coming in. Dan Pease retired.
Oh, Dan Pease retired.
Yeah, he's gone. But they already found their DC.
Gone.
Found their DC.
Okay. Then the Carolina Panthers, they are looking for one because Phil Snow's no longer there.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins is looking for one because Josh Breyer's no longer there. Minnesota lost their defensive coordinator. Cleveland Browns has their new DC, which is Jim Schwartz.
Okay.
And if that name sounds familiar, it should be. It was with the Eagles when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
In Detroit.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a good pick.
I know. Can I call you back? I'll call you back at 8 o'clock. Sorry about that, guys.
The Vikings' decision on Devin Cook is more complicated than it seems.
It's been injury prone.
Yeah. Let's see what happens on that one. Come on, back it up now. Come on.
I like Dalvin Cook if he can stay healthy. I think he's a great back. But the problem is he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Hey, Gerald.
What?
I'm going to have to run and get my mama something to eat, man.
Okay, go for it. Thanks for calling in.
She just come in here and asked me, man. She's hungry and ain't nobody here. So I'm going to have to run up there and get her something.
Okay. Thanks for calling in.
My dad's crazy. My dad's crazy ass went and traded his truck in and getting a daggone 2022 Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Okay, well, go get your mom. Go for something to eat.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm trying to check the schedule.
I just lost my train of thought here.
Oh.
We're talking about Dalvin Cook.
Oh yeah, let me find that article. I just lost it. I can't find it now. I just went kapoof.
Well,
What happened?
I'll tell you what I think about Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook's a great back if he could stay healthy.
Yeah,
If he could stay healthy,
that's the
he would be.
problem with. That's the problem with Cook. He can't stay healthy.
No.
Well, running back is the most injury-prone position in all of football, man. I mean,
No kidding.
you know how many great running backs have missed significant time in the last 5 years alone, and running backs, the shelf life on a running back is about 3 years. And I think Dalvin's going into his 5th year now, and he's had 2 major injuries. And you can always find a serviceable running back in free agency in the draft. You can go to the bottom of the draft and find a serviceable running back. Is it going to be possible to replace a Dalvin Cook? No, you're not going to be able to replace his production. But you can find a serviceable running back in the draft or in free agency, even late in the draft. Good Lord.
Okay.
And so I would be, unless depending on what kind of money he wants, I'd be willing to let him walk, go somewhere else.
Now, let me get y'all's thoughts on this one real quick. I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but the NBA All-Star Game, the draft, it's going to happen half an hour before the game starts.
You mean the starters? You mean for the Lions for the All-Star Game? That's kind of really close, isn't it?
Yeah, we won't know who's going to be in the game until about 30 minutes before the game starts.
What kind of a strange approach is that?
To me, that sounds kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's trying to.
Now it's half as stupid though as the NHL All-Star Game though with their skills competition. They have a weird thing. I'll get to that later though.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to throw it back to schoolyard, backyard, making it fun, and so you don't know who's going to be in the starting lineup, you don't know who's going to be on the team, and so it's trying to make it fun, and I think it's time to retire All-Star games in general.
Yeah, but still, Adam. I mean, it's the NBA. It's not Little League. You know, you
but that's what it is. It's what they're trying to pay homage to the idea of playing backyard basketball, pickup game, where all your friends come and hang out. And I think it's just time to retire All-Star games in general. Give them 4 days off in the middle of the year, and just be done with it. Because these games are silly, and nobody wants to play good sport. It's all about not getting hurt. Nobody plays defense.
You don't want to get hurt, do you?
No, that's what I'm saying. No one wants to get hurt. No one plays defense. Yeah,
no.
I'm not taking a charge against LeBron in an All-Star game. Screw off. Sorry, not gonna do it. I'm gonna give him the lane, and then he's gonna give me the lane on the other end, and we're just gonna trade layups for 48 minutes, and the final score is gonna be 207 to 194.
Okay.
And that's silly.
Lou, did you watch the Warriors game where Curry got ejected late in the fourth after tossing mouth guard?
I tried to get the game in on the streaming service. I had a little hard luck, but I was watching the Nets game anyway, so I didn't get a chance. But I heard about it. Okay. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
He's starting to act like Brady. You know how Brady would throw tablets.
Yeah.
Now Seth is throwing mouth guards.
And he's done that before.
Oh, this ain't the first time he's done this?
Third time.
You know,
Something's got to be
It's
done.
dumb. What do you do?
That's true. Now, y'all heard that there's going to be a lot of contracts coming up, and NFL players going to try to get renewed.
Yep.
And you know the team can use franchise tags on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, put yourself in the place of an NFL player.
Okay.
Let me think.
You just came off of your rookie contract.
Yes.
Time for your big boy contract.
Would you take the franchise tag, or would you want a sure contract?
Depends on where I'm at.
Yes. I've always wondered about that, though. I mean, I don't know if a franchise tag is actually a bad idea. I mean, you're still going to get paid a lot of money. So I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's what?
go
It's
against
the
it.
average of the top 5 players at your position, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what it is.
So I don't see what anything wrong with the franchise tag.
The only problem with the franchise tag is that it's not long-term security.
Okay, I get it. It's
So
not like
think
a
about
license,
so think about it this way, right?
I get it. Long-term
Give
deal.
me a look. It all depends on what kind of player I am. Because if I'm a top 5 guy at my
For
but
example,
say again.
let's take Tony Pollard for example.
Okay.
He's injured.
You know he helped the Cowboys this year.
Right.
Yes, he did.
And he's coming off his rookie
I'm
contract.
gonna test the market.
You wanna
I want a
test
big
the
boy.
market?
He's also injured.
Correct. I might, if I was uninjured, I want to test the market. I want to see what I can get. I want to see, I'm not saying that I wouldn't re-sign in Dallas, but I want to explore the market. I want to see who's going to make the best offer with the best money in a situation that I might want to play in. Now,
money talks, and you know what walks.
BS walks, but
BS walks.
anyways,
too.
it's a great song. Anyway, but coming off the injury, it might be advantageous to take that franchise tag and play one more year as a top 5 guy at your position, and have a chance to build your resume, pad your resume,
Right.
and then in your 6th or 7th year, or would it be 6th or 5th or 6th year, however, depending on how long your 4th or 5th year. Sorry, because I think depending on what your rookie contract, whether it's a 3 or 4 year deal, getting one more year under your belt, getting one more year to pad your resume, and then go get a big boy contract with somebody. Test the market. It depends. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Depends what position do I play, what do I have a family? If I've got kids or a spouse, where do they? Maybe my spouse wants to move back closer to her family. Maybe she grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and so Philly or Eastern Pennsylvania. So Philly is nice. She grew up in Western Pennsylvania, so Pittsburgh has some appeal. Maybe she grew up in the mountains and she misses the mountains. Well, we could, Atlanta is an option. We could live in Eastern Tennessee, or we could go out west. And live in, Denver's an option. There are so many factors that go into it. Aside from just
a joke.
What's that?
Denver's a joke. I mean, look what they did this season. Hardly anything. 4-11, right at 4. It was a terrible season for them.
Happy wife, happy life. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. So there's so many. There are so many factors that go into it that just aside from money, I might end up taking less money and going to Denver, or maybe I like the Pacific Northwest. Maybe you're like, somebody that grew up in Montana and you're like hunting and fishing. And so you want to spend your off season hunting and fishing in the Pacific Northwest, so Seattle's appealing. It all depends on, it depends on your personal, aspirations. It depends on what you can get. It depends on whether or not you want to play in that. Maybe you do take the franchise tag. Maybe you're not a top 5 guy at your position right now, but you take that franchise tag, get 1 year of top 5 money, and you take us, because your next when you take your next deal coming off your rookie deal, you're not gonna get top 5 money.
I also get that it's not. I also get a franchise tag is not a long-term deal. Yeah, I get that. So I guess you're saying,
you can play under the tag. You can play up to 3 years on that tag, but it's year to year.
Right. Okay, year to year. That's right. I thought it was only 2 years though, not 3. I thought it was 2 years.
3 sounds right, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too.
Let's just go. Let's split the difference. 2.5.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go 2.5.
Okay. I know. Look, I know 3. I know 3 is a magic number, but I thought it was 2. Oh no. Okay.
I don't remember now. I think that it's
MLB Hall of Fame. Now, these are the ones that got votes but didn't get in.
Yeah. Now I'll ask you this. Well, no.
Billy Wagner, Andrew Jones, and Gary Sheffield. The only one that got in really was Scott Rowland.
Yep. What's wrong with Gary Sheffield? He was a great player. Why'd you snub him?
Gary was great. I love Gary Sheffield.
And speaking,
such a sweet thing.
Sticking with the MLB, as y'all was talking, I was looking at some of these headlines. Brown hired by Astros as MLB's only black GM.
Right.
Good for him. I don't care about the race of the GM. It doesn't matter to me. If he's good at it, he can do it. If he's bad at it, he'll get fired. I hate that. I hate when we code everything in race and we wonder why racism won't go away.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't. It has the color of his skin and the appendages and appendages or lack thereof in his pants have no bearing on his ability to do or not do the job, or her, or they, or whatever.
To me, I don't care if you're white, black, blue, purple, blue and green.
Right. You do the damn job. You can have a job.
Or if you're a space alien.
Yeah.
Half man, half ape.
If Dallas went out and hired a black coach.
If you can do the damn job better than Mike McCarthy, then
go for it.
Yeah.
Job, right? Who cares?
All right. I mean, Ron Washington in Houston. It's Ron Washington, right?
Ron.
Yeah.
He did a great job, and it had no. He's a great manager, and it has no bearing on this color of his skin or where he comes from. He's just a good manager, and so if we would quit codifying everything in skin color, we would be so much better off than we are right now. If we stopped worrying about what was in your pants and what was on your and how much or how little melanin you had in you, we would be so much better off than we are now.
Exactly.
Because
I agree with you, Adam. I agree
100%. And you guys say, well, that's easy for you to say. You're a white guy. I'm a white guy who does dumb shit on the internet for fun. Yeah, I'm white. What does it matter? It has no bearing on my opinions or my ability to do research and break and put my opinions out there. And we codify everything in race and gender. And if we would stop doing that, society would be able to move on, and we could just Martin Luther's dream was that we would judge a man based on the content of his character, not the color of his skin. And yet we're still 50 years
still doing it to this day.
This is Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is fine, race, gender, creed, whatever. I don't have to become put aside. Let him do his job. If he doesn't do a good job, okay, get rid of it. But if he's doing a job right, leave it alone.
I was
You
looking
know,
at
just bashing all this stuff. Come on, it's ridiculous.
I was looking at the line for the 2 NFL games we got coming up, which is the 49ers and the Eagles, and the Bengals and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Eagles favored 2.5 over the 49ers.
2.5 good line.
Wow. It's kind
It's
of
a favorable line. All in San Francisco at 2.5.
Only 2.5 though, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now here's one I don't agree with. I think it should be higher, but then again, I'm not a betting man.
Okay.
It's the AFC Championship game. The Bengals and the Chiefs. They got the Chiefs favored by 1 point.
Well,
they're corner right down the middle, aren't they?
Actually, I'm not surprised with that because I think it's going to be a very close game and it's going to be a high offensive type of a game. So I'm not surprised by that low.
I'm on Cincy.
Low mark. All right, maybe 2 or 3, but I expect it to be a high.
High scoring close game.
Like
but do y'all realize that this is a repeat of last year's AFC Championship game?
I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. Revenge?
And the Bengals won it, so this year I think the Chiefs are going to be out for revenge.
What's that? Revenge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about revenge.
I'm going to call it
better
right
than
now.
deserved cold. Yeah.
You better dig too.
Let's just play around with something. Let's just play around with something here for a minute, guys.
Okay.
Let's make our Super Bowl predictions. Let's make our Super Bowl predictions.
Right. Okay. If they're wrong, I've got to smash everybody's TV set in the state of New Jersey.
Sounds good.
Adam, who you got in the Super Bowl?
I got Cincinnati and San Francisco.
Okay.
I have that. Oh, wait.
He's got Bengals, 49ers. Lou?
49ers, Chiefs.
Oh, boy. I know the 49ers are going to be. Oh, boy. The only thing that's got me concerned the only thing that's got me concerned right now is how well is Mahomes' ankle.
I saw him running. I saw on Pat McAfee's show. They showed practice for it. He looks fine.
Okay, then I'm going
he says it's better than Yeah, but I think he had that problem before.
Because we all know that Mr. Mahomes is known as Magic Man Mahomes.
Right.
It's insane what he can do with a football in his hands.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait, didn't he have that problem once before?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same predicament.
He could be down 14 points and come back and beat you by
24 points.
Yeah.
He could be down by 24 points, come back and beat you.
Now, what about Mr. Irrelevant, though?
Who, Joe Burrow?
No, Brock.
What you don't know? You don't know.
If it's the 49ers and the Chiefs, that's gonna be two good quarterbacks going up against each other.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. I like all 4 of these matchups. Bengals Chiefs or Bengals Eagles or Chiefs Eagles, Chiefs Niners, and Bengals Niners. I think it's gonna either way. It's gonna be a great game.
It should be.
This should go down as one of the best Super Bowls in history.
Last year was good too, if you remember.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, but this year, let's say if it's Mahomes and Hurst, that's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Philadelphia though.
But Hurst,
Hurts.
I don't think he's good as Mahomes is.
No, he's not.
Who is? That's not fair. That's like saying who's better than the Lamborghini? Not
Nobody
me.
is.
No, I mean, that's like we're not
Ferrari
comparing.
is.
The only quarterback I see that can really hang with Mahomes right now is probably Purdy.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I like Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence can give. I mean,
Okay.
wait until next year. I can't wait to see what that Jags offense looks like.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is going to be awesome to watch next year.
They just need a little bit more defense, and Jacksonville's going to be a threat.
Yeah. I mean, they surprised us this year, so why not? They can only go up.
Yeah, they really did surprise me.
Yeah.
Because it really
new coach, new
great
scheme.
coach. Doug Peterson was sly as a fox.
They're not going to be in the playoffs, and look what happened. They were in there.
I had them pegged to win the South when they were 6-8. I mean, so you're crazy. They ain't gonna win the South.
They did.
I know. I said that. I said there's no way that the Jags can win the South. And look what happened.
They won the South.
I may not get everything right, but sometimes I do.
Okay,
Nobody gets everything right.
I can guarantee you this right now. Next year, watch out for the Jaguars because they're going to be
Calvin Ridley. You put Calvin Ridley on that offense, and you give them a little bit of defense, and look out.
I think if the defense was just a little better this year, I think they would be. I think they'd be up playing the Chiefs instead of the Bengals.
Agreed.
They'd be playing the Bengals instead of the Chiefs.
But whatever. Yeah, I think it.
I can't help myself, Gerald.
I know. The Chiefs. They would have knocked the Chiefs out.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they were a little bit better on defense and Calvin Ridley was available, I can't wait to see I can't wait to see them in training camp. I can't wait till August and to see Trevor Lawrence with a real number one.
I hate to break it to you, but you gotta wait 7 months.
From last year to this year, okay? I'm talking about the seasons. When Trevor Lawrence first came in, you could see with Doug Peterson, you can see how he's progressing now.
Well, his growth was so stunted by Urban Meyer.
But he's got the right coach. He's got the right head coach in there now, which is Doug Peterson.
Well, Doug Peterson's sly like a fox, though. When it was all crumbling down around his ears in Philly after they won the Super Bowl, and it was just nothing was working anymore, and he got out, and he took a year off, and then he gets to come back and take the Jacksonville job, and it takes a job with a team that is not expected to do anything with a young quarterback that has a lot to prove, and he makes it work. Now the thing about it is that next year Jacksonville will be the hunted, and we'll see. This is the real test of Trevor Lawrence's mettle. Can he take that next step and be the hunted? Because they're not going to sneak up on anybody next year.
No. I think Trevor Lawrence is given the right offense. With Calvin Ridley coming in, that's going to give him that another weapon.
That confidence.
Yeah, that's going to give him that weapon that he needs. Because we know that Ridley is a damn good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a question.
So he messed up and betted on his own team. No,
I'm willing to give him a second chance.
That's a learning experience. Yes, he screwed up and did that. But now he's learning from his mistake, and that should make him better. But we all know what kind of caliber player Ridley is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets out behind a DB or a safety.
If he's leaving, he's leaving.
You might as well just stop. You might as well just stop me. Like, okay.
Stick your leg out. You better grab. You better grab something because he's gone.
And don't try to grab him by the ankle.
Because
he'll shoot in your face mask.
Except
you got to get him up high.
Any particular place where?
Below the neck, above the knee.
Yeah.
Oh.
So probably somewhere around his waist.
Okay, I was thinking something different.
I have a question for you, Lou.
Adam knows. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so who of all the potentially available quarterbacks, who do you want the Jets to go get? Assuming that you can't get Rodgers.
Let's see. If I was a Jets fan, oh boy.
What? No multiple choice?
And there's 3 good quarterbacks that are coming out right now. You got Bryce Young that's coming out of Alabama. He's a decent
Young's
QB.
good.
He's a decent QB. CJ Stroud, he can be a pro style quarterback with the right.
I'm not worried about
that. Stetson Bennett, he won 2 national titles with Georgia.
I think I'd go with Bennett.
He could also be the NFL. He could be an NFL type QB with the right coaching. I got to go with Bennett. I would go Bennett.
I got to go Stetson Bennett. I'm not sold on Stroud just yet.
I'm not sold on Stroud either. But I don't think either one of those will be. I don't think Bennett may be available when you pick. But I was thinking Jimmy G.
What?
Yeah, I can see Jimmy G as a veteran QB with New York.
Maybe a backup. But...
Backup? Why?
No. Backup. Nope.
You think?
Nope. Jimmy
you
G
think it's a starter?
To be a starter. He's good enough to be a starter.
Come on.
If he hadn't gotten hurt, he would be.
Not recently, no, but he's still pretty injury prone.
The only problem, that's his biggest problem is he can't stay healthy.
That's the problem. But we don't need that.
If he did not get hurt, okay, the 49ers were 14-3 along with the Eagles.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Mike White is the long-term answer.
Me neither. Me neither.
I think Jimmy G is better than Mike White.
If
Garoppolo gets too injured too often.
If I was to go get a veteran QB, here's what I would do. I would go get Jimmy G. Tell the 49ers, look, what do you want? Let's
he'll be a free agent. He's slated to be a free agent anyway.
Well, the 49ers can still pick him up. But
right.
I'd go to the 49ers and be like, look, let's talk. I'm interested in Jimmy G. What are you going to do for Jimmy G? Get together and discuss it, then go to Jimmy G, bring Jimmy G in as my veteran starter, go draft a rookie QB in the draft. Okay? Go get Stetson Bennett. Let Stetson sit behind Jimmy G for at least a year or 2. To learn from Jimmy G. Then I can use Jimmy G as a trading piece in the following offseason to get draft picks. And
I would keep my.
Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was just gonna add on to what you were saying, and I agree with you and just build upon what you were saying. Is I would put Stetson Bennett on the practice squad, and I would keep Mike White as my backup.
Yeah.
Let Bennett keep him, activate him, have him on the sideline every weekend. But he'd be primarily my practice squad quarterback, and then keep Mike White around in case we needed in case Jimmy G does get hurt. God forbid Jimmy G does get hurt again, because he's been known to be injury prone, and just keep him around. And Now, that's, of course, if San Francisco doesn't make a deal to keep him. Because Trey Lance could be on the move. Trey Lance could be on the block. They could be shopping Trey Lance, and they may want to stay with the veteran. Trey Lance has no experience. He's already been hurt once. They may want to stay with the veteran presence that Jimmy G brings and keep Brock Purdy, having Brock Purdy as the starter and Jimmy G as the backup. Because I'm sorry, but you can't.
The way that I heard it was the 49ers have already made a decision on Brock Purdy. They saying that Brock Purdy is going to be the starter going forward.
Right. You can't take the keys from the kid after you've given him, after he's taken the Ferrari. You can't go, oh, no, sorry, you can't have the key. He's proven that he can drive the damn car.
Oh, yeah.
And he can drive it well. And now you're going to take the keys away from him? That's...
I can tell you this right now. When Trey Lance went down, Jimmy G came in. I figured, okay, the 49ers have a chance.
Right.
Chance to do something. Then when Jimmy G went down, I'm like, oh, crap.
They're done.
They're done.
I told my old man, I was talking to my dad.
Might as well bring out the tarp, cover up the field, get it over with.
Yeah, it's all over with.
But when he came out and started bombing these teams like he did, I'm like,
oh boy.
Wait a minute, a third-string quarterback taking last in the draft is doing this to teams.
Well, I want to go back to 2 years ago, the 2021 season. In college, he had a decent season at Iowa. And I thought that 2022 was going to be his year. In a weak Big 12, they should have absolutely. Iowa State should have no problem going 8-4, 9-3, making a top-tier bowl. Maybe not a New Year's Six bowl, but at least a decent bowl, a New Year's weekend bowl, a New Year's week bowl. But they played bad, and Purdy played bad. And he dropped the last of the draft. And going into 2022, going into this past year's draft, he kind of got lost in the shuffle. And I think there are 31 other one. There are probably about 25 other GMs in the league that are kicking themselves right now.
Exactly. Because I didn't expect a third-string quarterback that was taken last in the draft to come out and do this.
Well, you know who he reminds me of? You may not know the name, but I'm sure Lou does as a hockey fan. But he reminds me of Ken Dryden.
Oh yeah, but how so?
So Ken Dryden, he comes in late in the year, and after their starter goes down, he's an unproven, untested rookie goalie, and he comes in and he takes over and he wins the Conn Smythe and a cup before he even plays in his rookie year. Then he wins the cup and the Conn Smythe. He's the only goalie, if I remember right, if memory serves me. He's the only player to have ever won the Stanley Cup before he won the Rookie of the Year.
Yes, I believe so, which is very unusual.
It's incredibly unusual. It's one of those things that it's only happened once. And that's exactly who Brock Purdy reminds me of, is Ken Dryden. Going to be a unsung, come out of nowhere, doesn't know anything, doesn't know what to do. Wrong. I mean, and so, but I liked him. I liked him in 2019, 2020. 2020 I thought was going to be his. 2018 I thought he was really good in 2018. And I thought 2021 was going to be his year. The Big 12 is not exactly the most. It's not the SEC. And I thought there was I thought Iowa State had, but they went like 5-7, and he looked bad. He just looked awful. And so kind of slipped in my mind about when we do our draft show. It was kind of disappointing. He had an incredibly disappointing last season at Iowa State, and so looking back upon it, I wish I had it. Well, of course we don't. We do the first round, so once the first round's over, we look at the highlights of the the next 6 rounds, but we don't really talk about we don't go 57 picks deep because there's so much other stuff to cover. Or 257 picks deep. And so, he got lost in the shuffle, but, and looking at the first 3 years of his of the body of his work at Iowa State compared to his last year, I think we now have to assess him as a diamond in the rough, as one that got away.
Exactly.
And also, you have to admit that you have to appreciate that San Francisco is a really good team. And what would have happened if he had ended up in someplace crummy? If he had ended up in Houston or Carolina or Atlanta. I don't think that we're not having this conversation about how good he is if he ends up someplace crummy, because he's always got his back.
But yeah, Purdy surprised me this year. He really did. Being a third string quarterback, taking last in the draft, came out and did what he did.
No, you don't expect that.
I didn't think he was going to do it. I thought the 49ers were going to fall flat.
And it's a credit to the 49ers organization and the team around him is to step up and step in and be, refocus and reset after not just losing one quarterback, but two quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And to be able to, have that moxie, to be able to just pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. When you're on your third string quarterback, who was Mr. Irrelevant.
Exactly. So true. Moving on now, guys. Adam, NASCAR starts up next month.
Next week, right? Well, 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. The first race is going to be the Clash at the LA Coliseum.
On the 12th? Or the 5th?
Let's see if I can pull that up real quick, because I have NASCAR app.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see here. Schedule. Here we go. Okay. February the 5th is the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which is the Clash.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100. Huh?
I mean, before the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's 150 lap shootout, basically.
Main event.
And then
Saturday night special.
Thursday the 16th at 6 p.m. is the duels at Daytona.
The 150-mile qualifying races.
Yep. That's going to be Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday?
Now, both of them are going to be Thursday. My bad. One's going to be at 6 and one's going to be at 8. Then, Sunday, February the 19th, is the granddaddy of them all, Daytona International. That's the one that kicks off the season.
Yeah. Actually, the season starts the next week.
Then after that, they go to Auto Club Speedway, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Phoenix, Atlanta. March the 26th, they're gonna be pretty much in my backyard at Circuit of the Americas.
My birthday.
That's gonna be a 68 lap.
Road course race.
They got Richmond, Bristol, Dirt.
Okay. Mother's Day weekend, right?
Talladega.
Ooh.
Dover.
I love Dover.
Dover, Delaware, right?
Yeah. Kansas.
Well, we have a Dover, New Jersey.
Kansas,
we do.
Darlington. Then Sunday, the 21st, which is May. They going back to a track they haven't raced at since the early 90s.
96.
And that's North Wilkesboro. for the All-Star race. Then they go to Charlotte.
Yep. Trying to be there.
Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's a new one. Then it's Sonoma, Nashville. Now here's the one I'm waiting on, because I want to see how this is going to work. Okay.
So, the Chicago Street Course.
On
4th of July weekend.
That's going to be
We'll see.
Sunday, July the 2nd at 4:30 p.m.
How many laps is that?
Doesn't say. It says to be announced.
Okay.
Right.
Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's going to be 260 laps. Then they go to New Hampshire. That's a 301 lap.
New Hampshire.
No, that's 160. Richmond is 400. Michigan International is 200. Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course is 82 laps.
Mm-hmm.
Watkins Glen is 90. Daytona. Then they go back to Daytona again.
Watkins Glen.
That's going to be 160 lap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find what they don't. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Yes.
Then they go to Darlington, Kansas, Bristol, Texas Motor Speedway. Then after that,
Yes.
this starts the super speedways. Talladega. That's where these rookies are going to get their tracks. They're going to learn on that track. Then they got the Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course. Las Vegas, Miami, Martinsville, Phoenix. And they end the season November the 5th at Phoenix Raceway. So, yeah. You get to run in 3 or 4 wide at Talladega over 100 and something miles an hour, and you catch the air just right, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna do this?
I was there in 2020 when Kurt got air. That was scary. He was a good 15 feet in the air. It was super. It goes so quiet. It goes, you see it on TV and it's so loud. And when they start wrecking, it is even, as they're sliding and crashing in front of you, it is so deathly quiet. So deathly quiet. And then when they all get out, they get unbuckled and they get out and the crowd comes up and it's incredible. And playoff racing is unbelievable.
The most exciting tracks that that's on the NASCAR schedule is Talladega, Daytona. Which other ones?
Atlanta was really good last year.
Yes.
This
was always fun.
Now I'll tell you what I like to watch. I like to watch the short track racing.
Yeah.
Me and Brad are putting it together to try to go to Atlanta, to go to Charlotte this year. In the 600.
You lucky dog.
Well, you won't get on a plane, old man. Get on a plane. We'll fly you up here.
Plane. Yeah.
Well, I ain't driving to Texas.
Some people are afraid to fly.
Now, there's a race that I would love to go to. I would love to go to the circuit at the Americans race.
Oh.
I've been to Michigan and Dega so far.
Even though it's a 68 lap race, it'd still be awesome to go.
That's nothing.
My dad, he's been to the last 2 races at Belle Isle, the IndyCar races at Belle Isle, and he said he says road courses are better than ovals. He really enjoyed those.
You did say 68 lap, right?
Yeah, it's 68 lap The track is 231.88 miles.
I see.
So that's going to be on Fox and PRN.
Mm-hmm.
What's PRN?
Performance Racing Network.
Oh, that. I don't think I got that.
They have that one, and also they have MRN, Motor Racing Network.
I've heard of that. I don't think I received it, but I love it.
This is the radio.
Yeah, it's radio. You can find it on. You can find it on TuneIn.
Mm-hmm. TuneIn's great.
I know.
NASCAR app.
I received TuneIn.
In order to really understand how this works, you have to actually watch your race on TV.
You have to go.
No,
it's so much better in person. Racing is a sport that's not made for anything but being there. Autosport, like, I think hockey is perfect for TV. Football's good on TV. Basketball's good on TV. But auto racing, you can't appreciate just how fast and how close they are if you're not there in person.
On
exactly.
Friday and Saturday nights back here in Austin, back some time ago, right down the road from me. I mean, you got to go by this track before you can get to the Circuit of the Americas. Was a little speedway called Longhorn Speedway.
Mm.
Yeah.
Every Friday and Saturday night.
Correct.
Short track racing.
Is Longhorn Speedway dirt, or was it paved? I don't remember.
It was all paved.
I just broke that. Brilliant.
But I'm going to say this to you, Adam, and you probably going to fall out of your chair. But the Labonte brothers started racing at Longhorn Speedway.
No, they're from Austin, aren't they? Or Luckenbach, somewhere in there. Huh? Oh, Corpus Christi. That's right.
Yeah, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Part of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, most guys get their start in little, on dirt, in local dirt tracks.
Look at Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
He started driving on dirt.
Mm-hmm. Because his daddy drove on dirt.
He started driving on that, I think they call it Alabama clay.
Alabama red clay.
Or red clay, or whatever they call it.
Alabama red dirt.
And look at Junior. He got his start on a little bit of dirt.
A little bit.
Most of these drivers, they get.
Kyle Larson started out on dirt. Blaney was dirt.
You know, most of these drivers that started on dirt are asphalt short track.
Yeah, well, dirt is more common than asphalt because dirt's so cheap. I mean, it's kind of just dirt. It's kind of dirt cheap. You know,
it's done dirt cheap. No.
I mean, you can if you got a bulldozer and a couple $100 worth of aluminum chairs, you know, you can make a racetrack. So, you know, dirt tracks are, you know, especially synonymous with the American Southeast, you know, and rum running, moonshine in the late 30s and early 40s, you know, during Prohibition, you know, and then you know, all those guys go off to the war, and in 46, Big Bill France, he goes down to Daytona because he has a dream, because he grew up in Indy, he grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he grew up going to the 500 in Indy, and but he liked stock cars. He was a stock guy, and he wanted to go and be a stock car driver. So he moved down to Daytona, and he was racing on the beach. And he did that for a couple of years, but every time they put together a race, the whoever put the race together would abscond with the money. So he and some of his guys got together, and they formed a sanctioning body, what would become NASCAR today. And you know, they raced on the beach, and he had a vision in his mind of paving it. So he bought that piece of property. He built the the mecca to speed in the Southeast, man. Then he had another dream, and he wanted to go faster. So he built Talladega and went even faster.
That's, a lot of people, a lot of drivers got to start, like I said, on short tracks.
On dirt, not just short, but dirt, short track. A lot of asphalt guys got their start on dirt tracks. No, I'm not a dirt guy. I don't like dirt racing. I think I much prefer asphalt.
The only dirt track that I really like to watch, and that is when NASCAR goes to Bristol.
Eldora. I liked Eldora.
Yeah.
I really hate the fact that they put dirt in Bristol. It's stupid. I like Bristol as an asphalt track. I'm an asphalt guy. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch NASCAR on asphalt. And when they put dirt in Bristol, I hate it, and it's super annoying to me because I don't want to watch dirt racing. It's not the kind of racing I like watching. I don't want to watch NASCAR on dirt. I want to watch NASCAR on asphalt. I don't mind the trucks so much because the trucks are kind of gimmicky anyway. So I didn't mind the trucks going to Eldora once a year, but the Bristol dirt race does absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah, it isn't for me either.
That I just like to watch it because the way the cars go around the track, instead of turning, normally they slide.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there watching it, and you see these cars slide up like that, and the wall's right here, and you see these cars slide up like this.
Yeah.
You're thinking, okay, what's going through these drivers' mind as they come around that corner and slide up, and they see that wall right there?
Your next point,
how am I going to stay off the wall running on dirt?
You got that. You got all that wheel in it, and when it finally catches, and you crank it back to the right, and you find the throttle, and you're changing gears, and you're so busy. You're so busy in the car doing everything that you got to do. Shifting, downshifting, upshifting. Matching RPM, so you don't miss it. Well, none of them they don't clutch anymore because it's a sequential shifter, so you don't have to clutch anymore. But when you're going through the corner, you get the car turned down in, you get that back end around, and just about the time just about that time before it comes all the way around, you snap it back to the right, and you stomp the gas, and you're down the straightaway, and it's into the next corner, and you're turning it. You don't have time to think. It's so instinct based. There's a word for it that's not coming to me now. It's all intuition is kind of the word I'm looking for, but it's not quite the right word. I know it starts with an I, but it's not coming to me. Instinct. It's all instinct. It's all you have it. You're turning in. You're downshifting, brake, downshift, and you're waiting for that. You're looking for your point. Okay, there's my point. Back to the right, accelerate, upshift, and you're okay. Now we're here. That's my braking point. Brake, downshift, turn in. Okay, there's my point. Back to the right, accelerate, shift up. So you're so busy. You have so much going on in the car at any, and that's not untrue for running anywhere. Like think about like Homestead down in Miami, where you have to run right along the wall. And you're down into you come off come off the straightaway, you come off the front stretch. You're holding it. You're holding. You've got this much wheel into it because. If you had that much wheel into it, you'd be in the wall. But if you have this much wheel into it, you're off your line. And you're playing with the throttle, playing with the brake. You got, am I shifting? Am I downshifting, or am I staying in fifth gear? Am I down into fourth, or am I staying in fifth? And it's matching it's keeping it wound up enough that when you come off, when you get back out onto the backstretch, you're able to accelerate through the apex of the corner, so that you can get a good launch off of 2, so that you can get down into 3, break, get up, stay up along the wall, and hold that line, because you're this far off the wall. But if you're this far off the wall, you completely miss the corner. So there's so much there's so much going on that you don't have time to think about how close or how far from the wall you are in terms of and again, having zero fear. You can't be worried about that. If you get in the wall, you get in the wall. Gather it up and go get the next corner. And you're there's so much, you got your spotter, you got your crew chief, and the talent that it takes to be a race car driver, the ability to key the mic and go, yeah, I'm a tick loose in, I'm tight in the middle, and I'm loose off, and the ability to do all of that in 30 or 40 seconds a lap, and provide good feedback to your crew, so that so that the next time you come in to make a pit stop, they can make proper adjustments and make you better and make you more competitive, and you can go win a race.
I was looking at something while you were talking. The top 5 MVP finalists. They already got them out. It's not even season's not even over with yet. Because we still got the championship games and the Super Bowl. But I want to name off these 5, and you tell me how y'all would rank these 5. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. The Broncos and Chargers and Raiders combined spent $588.9 million in guaranteed money alone on signing during the 2022 offseason to attempt to slow down the Chiefs. But by Thanksgiving, Kansas City was ahead and shoulders above its AFC West opponents and finished tied with the Eagles for the best win percentage in the NFL at 8.24%. Obviously, much of that is due to Mahomes' elite play.
Yes.
No argument for me.
Not at all.
Then number 2 is Jalen Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
The 24-year-old was the youngest quarterback in NFL history to lead his team to a 13-1 start, and Hurst's ascension from question mark to franchise quarterback in his 3rd season conceded with the Eagles tying Kansas City for the most regular season wins, 14, and earning the top seed in the NFC.
No argument so far.
Yeah,
Number
3 argument for me
is Joe Burrow. Missing most of the training camp after a epidemic having his appendix.
Appendectomy.
The appendectomy, yeah.
Season with 2 losses didn't hold Burrows back from throwing the franchise best 35 touchdown passes, breaking the record in back-to-back seasons. Cincinnati was the hottest team during the second half of the season and won 8 straight en route to a 12-4 finish. It was just the slow start to the season. Overcoming slow starts in games has become Burrow's MO, as evidenced by the Bengals thundering back from 17-0 deficit to score 34 unanswered points and beat the Bucs on the road in December. Number 4 is Josh Allen. An elbow injury made midway through the season and league-high 6 red zone turnovers may have taken Allen out of the front running spot for the MVP. But he was still excellent this season. Allen threw for 4,285 yards and 35 touchdown passes and went 2 yards shy, 762 of a personal best in rushing on a career high of 124 attempts. Behind a shaky offensive line and inconsistent play at receiver outside Stephon Diggs, Allen carried the Bills' offense with his arm talent and ability to make big plays.
Agreed.
And number 5 is Justin Jefferson. Jefferson was an anomalous first team All-Pro selection in his 3rd season, in which he led the NFL in targets, 184 receiving yards, 1,809 receptions, 128, and first down catches, 80. He was one of two receivers to average north of 100 receiving yards per game at 106.4.
All right. I mean,
so you think they did it right?
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. For once a writer gets it right. How about that?
Honestly, okay. Here is Patrick Mahomes with and without Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
His quarterback rating, his QBR in 2021 was 70.
Okay.
In 2022, it was 78.
What up?
Completed percentage in 2021, it was 62%.
Okay.
This year, it was 67%.
Makes sense.
Completion percentage above expectation. Last year, it was 5.8%. This year, it's 0.1%.
Wow. Dramatic difference.
Off target percentage. Last year, it was 18%. Well, in 2021, it was 18%. In 2022, it was 14%.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it actually Tyreek Hill or is it Mahomes?
It's the offense. They're not throwing bombs anymore. I mean, the way that you use Tyreek Hill in an offense is so much different than the way you run an offense when you don't have him available. When your best receiver is, and this is not a knock on Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a great tight end. He's a great receiving threat at tight end, but he's not a deep threat like Tyreek Hill was. Okay, so what you're seeing here is a lot more intermediate throws. I'd be interested to see what his average yards per completion was, because I bet you that went down from year to year. I bet you his average yards completion probably went from 12.8 to around 9.8. Because you're not throwing, when you throw deep down the field, you might miss more, but the ones that hit are going to have 35, 40, 50, 60 yards downfield. So you're trading out a higher completion percentage because you're making more high percentage throws. So you're throwing a 6-yard pass, which is going to end up being an 8 or 10-yard gain. Whereas before you were throwing a 40-yard pass that was a 50-50 ball, a 60-40 ball. So, of course, Patrick Mahomes is great because he can make that throw, and he had a great receiver that could make the catches.
And we've been sitting here talking. We've been talking a lot about Sean Payton too.
Yes.
I just found this article on ESPN. It's saying, talking about Sean Payton. It says here are the teams that have expressed interest in Payton, the assets they have available, and how they might pursue him to join their franchise in 2023. Number one is Arizona Cardinals. What's the pitch from the GM to Payton? There are 3 pitch general manager that Monty can throw at Payton. 1, it's an hour flight to Los Angeles, where Payton currently lives.
On a good day.
It's dry heat, no more coaching in the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals have an offensive roster that's built to win and win now.
But the defense better bring baseball bats because they're going to need all the help they can get.
Denver Broncos. What's the pitch from GM to Payton? Starts with 3 Super Bowl trophies. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Start with 3 Super Bowl trophies. The Broncos finished the season with 22 players on injury reserve, but the roster includes plenty of youth as starting as well as star power and quarterback Wilson. I don't know about that. Quarterback Patrick Surtain, safety Justin Simmons, wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, left tackle Garrett Bowles, and running back Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Houston Texans. Okay, let's see what they have.
At least we're not Cleveland.
There are promising young playmakers on both sides of the ball, and safety Jalen Petier, cornerback Derek Cemetery, and running back Damian Pierce. Pierce finished with the 1,104 scrimmage yards in 13 games, and Petier had 147 tackles with 5 interceptions. Let's see, what does Carolina Panthers have to offer him?
Nothing. They hired Rick. So
they're off.
That's a moot point at this point.
So if you were Sean Payton,
I joined Cliff Kingsbury in Thailand.
You would go to Arizona?
I said I joined Cliff Kingsbury in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take any. The only job that appeals to me is the Arizona job, but Kyler Murray is an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what you end up with is another rebuilding project, another nightmare. That's why you left New Orleans in the first place. You're looking at a 3 to 5 year reclamation project that has no guarantee of immediate success. Exactly. And if I'm Sean Payton, I just whistle up into the sun. I mean, the only job that appeals to me is the Dallas job. I mean, if I'm a guy like Sean Payton, I have the pedigree, I have the Hall of Fame resume, I have a Super Bowl, I've done everything and anything, and if I'm content to be a husband and a father. I mean,
yeah.
It's the longer you're away from it, the easier it is to not miss it.
Exactly. If I was Sean Payton, I would stay right where I'm at right now.
Thanks for the and the other thing is that they have to not only have to make the pitch to Sean Payton, they also have to give New Orleans something for him. Because he's still under contract with New Orleans. So even if you were to, what does Arizona have that they can offer not only Sean Payton, but New Orleans, they will also keep Sean Payton there. Because if Sean Payton was to go into the Arizona office, right, and say, this is my list of demands, and he puts, nice laminated piece of paper, puts it on the table, maybe he brings a laptop with a full PowerPoint presentation. This is what I want. This is the control I want. Here's the numbers, the money. My agent's got a contract already written up. This is the contract. What does Arizona have to give to New Orleans to get Sean Payton that if they were to give to New Orleans would be enough value, but not so much value that doesn't set Arizona back yet 3 more years?
I agree.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I'm Sean Payton and I'm coming out of retirement to coach, I want to coach either my hometown team or a contender.
And the contenders I see for next year, okay, is Jacksonville. We know Doug Peterson ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Possibly the Cowboys.
Potentially, but then Mike McCarthy has to be gone.
That's if they can address that offensive line in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get that offensive line shored up.
Correct. Because Zeke ain't the answer at center.
Yes.
Oh Lord, I killed him. I've done it now.
I was waiting on that one.
Oh, I made that joke the other day in the group, and you died laughing there too. So,
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
why I gotta.
The only one that's on that offensive line that's worth anything is Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of guys in the later rounds that are gonna be good.
Dallas needs to find a center. Somebody like Travis Frederick, that center that's not afraid to get up in your face.
Mm-hmm.
The center we have now, he's okay, but
then again, if you're well, it depends on what Sean Payton wants. Well, I guess I'm sorry. I was still thinking about bringing in Sean Payton. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
I said the Jaguars, possibly the Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely.
The 49ers might be back in it.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yep.
But then again, the Eagles already have their coach.
Yeah.
The 49ers already have their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville has their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Dallas, I'm not too sure about.
As of right now, they have a coach.
Who is? Yes, who is though?
Because that fat boy McDonald's spokesman needs to take his butt back to McDonald's and eat some more Big Macs and large order of fries.
Learn some time management while he's at it.
Mm-hmm.
And take Kellen Moore with him.
Can we talk about time management in the NFL or the lack thereof? What is with these NFL head coaches that have no idea how to manage clock? It's maddening.
There's only one
coach.
There's only one coach I've seen so far that knows how to manage a clock.
Yeah.
And that's Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers.
Yep.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, you're really messing it up.
In that game against Dallas, they scored a touchdown and the field goal and everything. And what did they do? They sat there and ran this thing all the way down to like 40-something seconds left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That is called clock management.
Well, he had really good clock management at the end of the first half too.
Exactly.
Bled it all the way down to 9 seconds. Got the field goal off. Gave Dallas absolutely no time to go do anything with the ball after that. And got ball in second half. So
good clock management. That's how you manage the clock.
Bill Belichick struggles with it. Andy Reid. I mean, even these great coaches, these guys that we agree are great coaches, yet still somehow dodge clock management every week.
Every
week.
You gotta learn how to do it. You gotta learn how to do the clock very good, Tony.
There's 3 coaches right now I can tell you that's good at clock management. One is Kyle Shanahan.
Agreed.
2 is the coach for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Serini.
Yeah. 3 is Doug Peterson.
I would think Sean McDermott and Sean McVay are pretty good.
Okay, well 5. There's 5 head coaches that are great.
But so often, Mike McCarthy stinks.
You don't have to tell me that. I know that.
He stunk in Green Bay.
We already know that.
The reason why McCarthy was so good in Green Bay, nobody wants to hear this. None of the Cowboy fans want to hear this. They think he's the greatest coach to ever walk in to AT&T Stadium.
No.
The only reason why he was so good in Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers winning is a great deodorant, man.
Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers made McCarthy. Now look at McCarthy. He doesn't have an Aaron Rodgers type quarterback. Now look at him.
Well, I mean, they might.
He's on the sidelines looking like a Homer Simpson, like, "Dude, what do I do?"
Dope.
Well, but they made each other better until that relationship went south. Until the marriage got bad, they made each other better.
Right.
The reason why that marriage went bad is because Aaron Rodgers got a big head. Thought he could. He didn't need a coach.
Yeah.
Well, and Green Bay did absolutely nothing to help him.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry, but screw you. If you're not going to,
same way with the Tampa Bay coach they had, who was that? Before they got the coach they had now, who was the coach?
Bruce Arians.
Yeah, look, Bruce Arians was a good coach.
Bruce Arians.
Yeah, Bruce Arians is a great coach.
But him and Tom Brady couldn't get along.
No.
And they bought Todd Bowles in, and look what happened. Todd Bowles is a great
coordinator,
assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of another Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is not that great of a head coach, but give him a defense.
Better.
Norv Turner.
The defense is yours. Coach him, and he look what he did. Look what he did with Dallas's defense. They were a couple years ago. They were down in the basement.
Yeah.
They would allow 30, 40, 50 points a game.
Norv Turner.
And look how that defense stepped up. And Norv Turner was the same way. He was a great offensive coordinator, but sucked as a head coach.
Terrible head coach.
Exactly.
No, Todd Bowles. He's a great coordinator, but he's a lousy head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Nathaniel Hackett. Hackett is a good coordinator.
Lousy head coach.
Terrible.
There's another one that I can name, Vic Fangio.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, Leslie Frazier. Great defensive coordinator. I don't think he's got it cut out. I don't think he's cut out to be a head coach. I think
there's some people that were made to be head coaches, and some that was made to be coordinators.
A man's got to know his limitations. Yeah, I think about great coordinators like Dick LeBeau and God, I had his name and I lost it.
Look at Brian Flores.
Yes.
I hope he gets another shot.
No, but what I was going to say though is he wasn't very good as a head coach. But give him a coordinator job and watch what he can do.
I hope he gets another shot because I think he got hosed in Miami.
I think so too.
I think he absolutely got hosed in Miami. I think he deserves another chance. I'd give him I'd take a serious look at him over Sean Payton because Sean Payton comes with too much baggage. And it's not baggage, not in a necessarily negative way, like personal baggage but he's just too much money. He's just too much. It's just too much there that has to be done. Between bringing him in as soon as he has to New Orleans and all that I would rather bring in Brian Flores and take a serious look at him and give him a serious consideration before I would Sean Payton.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And then again, like we were talking about, there's some great coordinators out there that can make an impact on a team. If I was a coach, if I was a general manager and I was looking for an OC in DC, I would look at Vic Fangio as my defensive coordinator,
mm-hmm.
and look at Brian Flores as my OC. Mm-hmm. Or bring Brian in as my head coach. Brian could go either way.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a great OC, and he can be a great head coach if he's given the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I would tell Brian, look, you can be the head coach and the OC.
Mm-hmm.
Because you let him do that. You let Brian coach a team and be in charge of the offense. He could be on a powerhouse with the offense.
Yeah. Who's a great OC, terrible head coach? Bill O'Brien.
Oh my God. That dude literally destroyed the Houston Texans.
Sure did.
I mean, you couldn't have tried. You couldn't have tried any better. You could have done any better if you were trying.
He single-handedly destroyed the Texans. And you know, with them firing Lovie Smith got a bad rap with Houston.
He got a terrible one. He got done a terrible hand.
We all know, you know, all three of us know that a first-year head coach cannot take a team to the playoffs.
It's very hard.
You know, because he's got to bring in his personnel, his players, his schemes, and that takes 2 to 3 years. You know, for example, look at Jimmy Johnson when he first took over the Cowboys. Look,
I do.
First year was atrocious.
That first year was atrocious.
And I got thinking, when I heard 1-15, I got thinking, oh crap, here we go again, another busted coach. But each year it started getting better and better. It's like you go out in the garden and you have a garden and you see weeds out there. What do you have to do to the garden? You have to pull the weeds out.
Yes.
That's basically
are you saying
has to do with a team? He has to weed out the players that are not going to fit into his system.
Are you saying that we don't set the garden on fire every time there's a weed?
The what?
No wonder I've not been getting any veggies.
Why is that?
You're saying that we don't go and set the entire flower bed on fire every time there's a single weed? Is that what I've been doing wrong?
Okay, guys, we're down to 3 minutes. Lou, what you got coming up on your show?
Okay, on the Enhanced Sports Show, Saturday from 4 to 6, we'll have a preview of the NFL Conference Championships, both the AFC and the NFC. We'll recap the divisional round. We'll talk about the MLB, the Hall of Fame selections, or lack of thereof, as the case may be, because there's only one. We'll keep tabs on the NBA and NHL All-Star games, which has some very unusual moves this year. One we've already mentioned, but I didn't mention the NHL, but I will on Saturday. Also got some UFC and WWE news that I think is worth mentioning. So if you got time between 4 and 6 on the East Coast, dial 512-543-4662. I'll repeat it again, 512-543-4662, Saturday, 4 to 6.
Good job, Lou. And also, guys, please remember, we are now on Roku TV. Please subscribe to Try TV 99 and look for In the Zone Sports Talk television station. It's $4.95 a month, and you can follow us there.
Right.
Once again, that's Try, TRI 99 TV, and it's In the Zone Sports Talk television station. With that being said, I want to thank my two partners in crime here, Lou and Adam. Guys, every time y'all come on, it's a blast. We have fun doing this.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll have fun when I'm not here.
Well, it's a little more fun when you're here.
Right.
But
that means a lot.
This has been the Game Winning Sports Talk Show, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. I will catch y'all next week, same time, same channel. Peace.
Good night, folks.
Prince sent it.
Thank you for listening to the Game Winning Sports Show. We're here every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, handling our sports business. Give us a call at 512-543-4662. And remember, never bet against the game. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for listening to the Game Winning Sports Show.